Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of Pure Mathematics Concept, and in today's class we are going to understand what will happen when tangents are drawn at the extremities of the diameter. So first of all, try to understand what are the extremities of a diameter. For suppose there is a circle like this with center O, and this particular line segment is the diameter of the circle. So AB is the diameter of the circle, and now what we do is, if suppose we draw tangents at the extremities of the diameter, this is how the tangents will be. Okay, and now we have to understand what will happen and what formulas and what concepts we can understand when we draw the tangents at the endpoints of the diameter. Okay, so in this class we will understand two formulas which are related to the concept, and the two concepts we have to remember them regarding examination point of view, and we will be solving three questions on them. Okay, so here is a figure. So there is a circle with center O here, and we take the extreme ends of the diameter as A and B, and you can see two blue color tangents. So this is tangent 1 which is drawn, and next this is tangent 2 which is drawn. Okay, but to develop the concept of the formula, what we have to do is we have to draw the third tangent for the circle. So this is the third tangent which is drawn to the circle. This is tangent 3 which is drawn to the circle. So what we actually understand is tangent 1 and tangent 3 are intersecting at this particular point P. They are intersecting at this particular point P, and next tangent 2 and tangent 3 are intersecting at this particular point Q. And now the first question, or else the first formula we have to understand is, what will be angle POQ is the question. What will be angle POQ is the question. And these type of questions will be asked particularly in prelims exam or a style 1 exam. For sure they will ask these type of questions. Okay, so try to understand, whenever for a circle, if you draw a tangent, at the point of contact, I already told you many times, even in the previous classes also, at the point of contact, every time the radius and tangent intersect at 90 degrees. Radius and tangent will intersect at 90 degrees. If we apply the same concept here, this particular line AO will be called as the radius. Half of the diameter it will be called as the radius, and here the angle will be how much? 90 degrees. And this line segment OB will also be called as radius, and here the angle will be how much? 90 degrees. Okay, and next, this is the first point we have to apply. And now coming to the second point, for a circle, if you draw the tangents from the external points, this is very important and a basic concept. Everyone, most of you know that. For suppose for a circle, if you draw tangents from the external point like this, definitely these two tangent lengths will be equal. So length of PA and length of PB will be equal. And we will apply the same concept here for this figure. So what we do is, we understand this particular point P is the external point. We try to understand like that. In that case, what I can say, length of PA and length of, let us take the point of contact as capital R here, length of PR will be same. Because you can say that point P is the external point. The same will be applied with point Q also, as point Q is the external point, length of BQ and length of QR will be same. Again the same reason. So length of PA and length of PR will be same. Next, length of QB and length of QR will be same. We will use this concept to understand the second formula, but in this case you have to know one more thing. When you join the external point and the circle center, definitely this particular line OP will bisect the angle at P. So what will happen is, these two angles will be equal. And we will apply the same concept here, because already the line OP is drawn. Here, where P is the external point. Okay, and now what I can say is, these two angles will be same. Whenever from the external point line is drawn to the circle center, it will bisect the external angle. So how much is the angle here? I can take theta and theta. The same will be applied for this line segment OQ. So for this line segment OQ, as Q is the external point, once you draw the line, definitely these two angles will also be same, that is alpha and alpha. Okay. And now to understand what is angle POQ, what we do is we consider the quadrilateral. I think everyone sees that we take the quadrilateral APQB. APQB is the quadrilateral. I will highlight that quadrilateral. So this one I'm talking about APQB, the white color one. Okay, so basically in a quadrilateral, what is angle sum equivalent to? In a quadrilateral, the angle sum will be equivalent to 360 degrees. Angle sum is 360 degrees. So what is angle at A? 90 degrees. What is angle at B here? 90 degrees. So angle at A is 90 degrees. Next, what is angle at P? Theta plus theta is angle at P, it will be 2 theta. Plus what is angle at Q? It is alpha plus alpha, it will be 2 alpha. Plus angle at B is 90 degrees, and the sum will be equal to what? 360 degrees. The sum will be 360 degrees. So what is 90 plus 90 gives you 180 degrees. So 2 theta plus 2 alpha is equal to 360 minus 180 is how much? 180 degrees. And now this is theta plus alpha gives you how much? 90 degrees. So this is the first point you have to keep in your mind. That is theta plus alpha will give you 90 degrees. Why? Because using that, what we do is, now we take this triangle. Which triangle you will take? Triangle POQ, the triangle what I am highlighting now. We will take the triangle POQ. So in that triangle POQ, understand you have to find out this angle. Let us take it as X. Okay. And now in triangle POQ, I will write it here. So in triangle POQ, we know that the angle sum will be equivalent to how much? 180 degrees. What is angle at P in that triangle? It is theta. Angle at O is X, that is what you have to find. Plus angle at Q is how much? Alpha. The sum is how much? 180 degrees. But already we know that theta plus alpha gives you 90. So what is the value of X? 180 minus 90, it will be 90 degrees. So angle at X will be how much? It will be 90 degrees. So this is one of the important concepts whenever the tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter. Okay. So this is concept 1. And now let us discuss concept 2 and understand concept 1 is important for prelims exam, whereas concept 2 is important for mains exam. So this particular concept is important for mains exam. You might find questions on this concept. Again, the information remains same. O is circle center, AB is the diameter of the circle, and this is tangent T1, this is tangent T2, and this is tangent T3. Tangent T1 and T3 are intersecting externally at this particular point P. Next, tangent T3 and T2 are intersecting at this particular point Q. Okay. And now the question is what they will ask you. They will give you the information regarding length of, I will write it here. Okay. So length of PA, and next length of BQ will be given. They will say that this length is small a and this length is small b. Length of PA and length of BQ will be given. Okay. And they will ask you to find out the radius of the circle. Okay. So before doing this one, first of all, try to understand which values we have to write here, because the tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter. At this particular point A, the angle will be 90 degrees. At this particular point B, the angle will be 90 degrees. And one more thing we understand is what? This particular point P is an external point. From an external point, if two tangents are drawn, definitely the length of the tangents are equal. So length of PA, and here the point of contact, let us take it as capital R here. We will take it as capital R. So length of PA and length of PR is same. And already in the question, length of PA is given as small a, and we can say that length of PR will be small a. Okay. And next, what I can say here, length of BQ and length of RQ will be same, because this time Q is the external point. From external point Q, two tangents are drawn. The line segment lengths will be equal. This is B and B. Okay. And now the question is about finding the radius of the circle. So understand, if you join the points O and R, this particular red color line segment, where point R is on the circumference of the circle, the red color line segment will be called as what? The radius of the circle. It will be called as the radius of the circle. Okay, but understand, every time at the point of contact of a tangent, radius and tangent are always perpendicular to each other. So here the angle is 90 degrees. And next, in the previous concept we understood that angle at O will be how much? 90 degrees. Angle at O is 90 degrees. Okay, and now to find out the radius, what we have to do is we have to take this right angle triangle POQ. I'm drawing it separately, so try to understand. So this point is P and this point is Q and this point is O, and here the angle is how much? 90 degrees. Okay, and next a perpendicular line is drawn onto hypotenuse like this, intersecting at this point R, and the line segment will be called as what? Radius. So radius I'm indicating with small r. Radius I'm indicating with small r. And now in that triangle, what information we know? In that triangle, the information we know is length of PR. So length of P to R is how much? It is small a. And next, we know the length of RQ. From R to Q, the length will be taken as how much? Small b. And here the radius is smaller. Okay. So in this type of information, understand, we have to use the concept of similarity of triangles. Similarity of triangles concept is to be used. Okay. So in this case, when you use the concept of similarities, the final relation what we get is r square is equal to a into b. R square is equal to a into b. So r square is equal to a into b, and the radius r value will be how much? Root over a into b. The formula is what? R is equal to root over a into b, and this is very important. Okay, if you want to know the actual procedure or else the actual reason why r square is equal to a into b, you can see day 6. You can see day 6 of pure mathematics. In that pure mathematics concept of day 6, I clearly explained the concept of similarity of triangles, which is related to what? A right angle triangle. Okay, so there I will explain. So you will understand why r square is equal to a into b and r is equal to what? Root over a into b. So this is concept 2, which is important for mains exam. Okay, and now let us see questions on them. So the question says that if two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter, if two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter means when you take a diameter like this and now you draw two tangents at the extreme ends, okay, with a circle with center O, and next the third tangent is drawn. See, understand, the third tangent is drawn, they will give the information like this: third tangent is drawn intersecting both the tangents at the points A and B. And now in this case the question is about finding angle AOB. If you know the concept, it is well and good, the answer will be 90 degrees, but don't try to guess the answers according to the options, because the options are given as 90, 60, 45 and 75. A few students might think that the answer is 60 degrees, but no, the answer cannot be 60 degrees. The answer is what? 90 degrees. Okay, so this is related to concept 1. And now look at the next one. If two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter in the circle with center O, and the third tangent is drawn intersecting both the tangents at the points A and B. Again the same information. He is saying that there is a circle drawn like this. Okay, two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter, and now the third circle is drawn. Okay, O is circle center. O is circle center intersecting at the points A and B. Now in this question, length of OA is given, how much it is? 20. Length of OB is given, how much it is? 21. Okay, the question is about finding the length of the tangent AB. See how they are relating the concept to Pythagoras theorem, because they are asking us to find out the length of AB. Let us take it as x. Now we have to understand that here the angle will be how much? 90 degrees, and this particular triangle AOB is which type of triangle? It will be a right angle triangle, and for that right angle triangle you have to apply Pythagoras theorem. and it will be x square is equal to 20 square plus 21 square, and now x square is equal to 400 plus 441, which is 841, and now the value of x will be root over 841, that is how much? 29 centimeters. So x is equal to 29 centimeters, the length of the tangent is 29, option A is the correct answer. Or else, if suppose you guys are good at Pythagorean triplets, we can say that 20, 21 and 29 are Pythagorean triplets. So 20, 21 means definitely the unknown value x will be how much? 29. Either you can use Pythagoras theorem or you can understand Pythagorean triplets. Okay. To the next one. If two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter PQ, now he is saying that the diameter is PQ. Okay, so the diameter is PQ like this, and next two tangents are drawn at the extreme ends of the diameter, and now the third tangent is intersecting both the tangents at the points A and B. So this is point A and this is point B. Length of PA, see, understand this particular length is given as how much? 9, and this particular line segment, okay, they are intersecting. Okay, QB is given, fine. QB is given as how much? 4. In this case, they are asking us to find out the radius. So to find out the radius, what we do is we take this external point as R. We draw the line like this. We understand this is the radius. They are asking us to find out the radius. Okay. So every time the value of R will follow what? Root over 9 into 4. Root over 9 into 4. How much it is? Root over 9 into 4 means 36. So root over 36 means it will be 6 centimeters. So 6 centimeters is the answer. How I can say this directly from the line segments 9, R and 4? Because I already know the concept. In case if you guys are finding it difficult directly to understand like this, so this is the external point, line is drawn, 9, again the line is drawn, this will be 9, because external point 2 tangents drawn, the lengths are equal. External point here it is 4 and here it will be 4. Okay, after joining these 2 points O and A and O and B, we can clearly understand the triangle is a right angle triangle. So this particular triangle OAB is a right angle triangle, and now to find out the radius, we already know the formula. R is equal to root over A into B. This is what I explained to you, and the answer is how much? 6 centimeters. So like this, they will ask the concept in prelims exam or in the mains exam, or else in tier 1 and tier 2 depending upon the difficulty level. Okay, so thank you guys. So this is for day 3. In the coming days we will discuss more concepts which are related to geometry. Okay, thank you.